Hey guys, Holly here. Welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would do a quick update kind of my 2023. So kind of like just my year in review. And this won't take very long. I'll try not to make it too long. But I thought, well, I had a few extra minutes that I could pull over here and just do an update. So kind of tell you guys what I'm up to, if anything new is going on or not, and that sort of thing, what my plans are for the next year, etc. So for 2023, this year's been a pretty good year. I'm not gonna lie. It's been calm, like still really, really busy. I'm always super busy, which I do to myself, because I like to stay active. I always like doing stuff. But it's also been a little bit about balance too, trying to balance everything out. Definitely my main focus has been on family. My work has kind of been on the back burner, but yet I still somehow have progressed with that too, even though it was completely on the back burner all year. And I anticipate it will continue to be on the back burner for the foreseeable future, just because I am so family focused right now. But yes, I am still working. I do still have work and multiple sources of income. I just am not super focused on that right now. But I'm just doing the best I can while focusing on my family right now. And so for me, that's just the most important thing. So I think like the hardest thing of 2023 for me was having a couple of friendships that seemed to get really watered down. I don't have a whole lot of super close family, and the family that I do have isn't always there, for various different reasons. Not placing blame on anyone, it's just various different reasons. But I have a couple of friends that our friendships just got really watered down, and these are like close friends, like ones that I would talk to like every single day in some way, shape, or form, whether it was on Messenger or whatever. And now it's gotten to a point where there's literally no effort coming from the other side. And it's been really hard for me. And so this started happening, like it slowly started happening probably around 8 or 9 months ago, and it just kind of has gotten worse and worse until like I still see these people, but I had to eventually just come to the conclusion that like, yes, this person is my friend, but at the end of the day, they're putting forth absolutely zero effort into the friendship. And it's really hard for me because as busy as I am and as difficult as my life has been, like I've always been, there for my friends. And, just like, I don't know, like driving far distances to see them, like visiting, when they don't visit me, just stuff like that. And so it's been really hurtful in that respect. And there are various reasons that, people at different points in their life, they just don't want to put forth as much effort. And, people say like, maybe they just don't have anything to give. And it's like, I get that. But in the same point, throughout all the seasons that I haven't had much to give, and in fact, I'm in one of those seasons right now, like I still will like make an effort to send a card for the heck of it every now and then, or send a text, or make a phone call once every couple months or something, or just like, I don't know, just something to show a thought, send a little gift. But I guess I noticed this year, like it came way more to my attention, that I was putting forth way too much effort for people that were not returning any of that effort to me at all. So, I mean, people that aren't even willing to meet me halfway. And these are people, again, that I have been friends with for over half my life. And so this has been extremely difficult. And so that's really, I think, the hardest thing for sure for this year. But other than that, I think just, strengthening my bonds within my, my immediate family, like just, my boyfriend and, our kids. Especially my kids, it's just really been a blessing. And so yeah, still homeschooling. I've got one in pre-K, and then I've got my oldest in 3rd grade. Everything is going really smooth with that. We are loving it. I'm loving it more than ever. I couldn't be happier to be a homeschool mom. So that's going really well. as far as work, I am doing, I'm still a licensed massage therapist. I have been since 2009. So I renewed my license this year because you have to renew every other year. Here in Texas anyway, I assume it's the same pretty much everywhere. But so I've been doing this now for license since 2009. I started studying back in 2008. So, yeah, it's been amazing, and I love the flexibility that this career has given me. So I am still a massage therapist. I still do a little bit of that, and then I also DoorDash sometimes still. A couple of people have asked me about that. I do still DoorDash, not very often, only when I have extra time, which is not very often, but I have other things. I'm still taking the online surveys. Believe it or not, that actually brings in quite a bit of extra money. So does receipts. Like, I use the receipt apps where you can upload receipts and stuff like that, and connect it to your accounts, and you get like Amazon gift cards, PayPal, stuff like that. So I do all those things. What else do I do? I still clean a house or two on occasion. So basically, I still just have a lot of different things that I do to bring in money. But I have, like I say, I've been way less focused on work this year than probably any other year, except maybe like 2020. 2020 and 2021, I wasn't very work focused just because of COVID. I was not really out doing much work. I was still working, but just not a lot at all. And so since then, it's been kind of a lesser year for that. I did get a few new clients throughout the year, but unfortunately they all ended up being a bust. They all ended up not working out for various reasons on a long-term regular basis, but that's okay. I still have a few from many years that I've had for many years, and so I still love them and I still have them. So that's great news. And this coming year for 2024, one of my goals is I really want to, I'm going to start like an online store or two, probably two. And I want to do kind of like an antique vintage type business. I've always wanted to be an antique dealer, like since I was 17 years old, and I just never ended up going into that. I ended up choosing massage therapy over antique dealing, and so I want to pursue, in some way, shape, or form, pursue that dream that I always had. And so recently it's been laid on my heart to attempt to pursue it in some way, shape, or form. So obviously, as busy as I am right now with the kids and everything, I don't have a lot of time and energy to put into anything necessarily, but I do want to seize the opportunity of creating an online store or two, and I've already got some inventory that I've built up. I've got a whole bunch more stuff I need to go through, and I'm going to start going to more garage sales here and there and building up more inventory, so that way I can have a store that runs all the time, and people can essentially buy these vintage items. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm excited, super excited about that, since it's something I've always wanted to do. And then later down the line, I will consider maybe doing an antique booth or doing vending or something like that, but that's probably pretty far off in the future. But things like Facebook Marketplace, Etsy, I don't know about eBay. I feel like eBay is a little bit sketchy sometimes. But yeah, just something like that. There are also tons of individual antique vintage item websites where people can create stores and sell their items online as well. So I don't anticipate that this will be something that's going to bring in a whole lot of money, especially right away. But I do want to see what happens with it, where it goes, and just slowly start to build and go from there. Because with any career or any side gig or whatever it is, the longer you do it, the more experienced you are, the more you will make and the better you will ultimately do as time goes by. So that's it for my career goals. I do still have to do continuing education every other year for massage therapy, so I did this last year. I usually just do it online, but I do have to do 12 hours every other year, so I'm constantly building on that too. I'm still studying Qigong. one of my goals for this year was to start a program to become a Qigong instructor. However, unfortunately, I just couldn't come up with the money this year, so I don't know when I will, but in the meantime, I have just been teaching myself and watching a whole lot of YouTube videos, utilizing free resources, and just studying online and also doing a daily practice. So I'm learning something every day that's new with that. I love Qigong. I've been doing it every day since all the way back to 2017. So it's something I love, very passionate about it. I will continue to do it and continue to build on that indefinitely. I do already practice some like medical Qigong healing that I add into my massage practice, so that's really awesome. A lot of healing techniques, which I will be ultimately showing you guys quite a few of those. As for my physical health, I'm doing great. I really couldn't be happier with my physical health. I always want to lose like 5 pounds, but I feel like that's been the story of my life forever. But I'd rather it be 5 than like 10 or 15 or more. So I'm happy with where I'm at. Very happy with that. As for my thyroid, everything's going really well. I just got retested for my TSH last week, and it came out pretty decent. So I have not been on the medication. I have not been on levothyroxine. I was on and off of it for a while, but I stopped taking it, and all is still well. I do still supplement and test regularly. So at this point, I'm testing every like 4 months, but I think I'm going to start probably doing more like every 6 months, just because things have been pretty stable. And I also want to keep testing my antibodies too, and not just the TSH. But anyways, I want to make sure I'm testing everything fairly regularly, and when it comes to the thyroid anyway. And so I have another video I'm going to do for you guys on the thyroid that is really exciting, and I'm really excited about sharing it with you and kind of my own experience. And it's something new that I have not talked about before in regards to the thyroid. So I know a lot of you guys will comment on my videos and be like, oh, did the walnut oil not work? Like, because the walnut oil massage video, it got a ton of views. I had no idea that it ever would, but it did. And so yes, the walnut oil does help. Do I still use it? Yes. I do still massage with it. I do still rub it on my neck. I do still eat it every day, in some way, shape, or form. I eat walnuts as well. I do believe they have a great impact on the thyroid, but in and of themselves, do I think it's necessarily enough to completely cure the problem? Not exactly. I think it takes a versatile approach of quite a few different techniques to keep it in check. So I have Hashimoto's subclinical hypothyroidism, which means that I don't, I know I've told you guys so many times before, but for those of you that haven't seen my other videos, my levels are kind of just like, they stay a little bit borderline, but I have really high antibodies, and I have to be really careful and diligent in keeping my levels in check. So my T3, T4, and my TSH. But anyways, so apart from my physical health, I feel like I'm happy with my appearance. I feel like I look great. What else? So we talked about health, we talked about career, the Qigong, my new business prospect, or my new business plan, shall I say. Let's see, family, we talked about that, homeschool. I do plan to homeschool indefinitely. And yeah, we are still in our 2-bedroom apartment, and we live just south of Fort Worth, in a suburb south of Fort Worth, Texas. We love it. We do not want to leave. Our neighbors have become very close to us. Our upstairs neighbors are like family to us, so that's been really nice. We see them almost every day and talk with them, and it's just really nice having that, because as I've told you guys before, I don't have a lot of close family, so that's been great. So I feel like as far as our like support system has grown, and that's been great, and it has grown a little bit, and I'm still working on that in various ways, various forms in which this has grown, so that's good. And the kids are doing great. Other than that, yeah, I mean, my goals going into the new year are just to keep doing what I'm doing, pursue the antique vintage business online, and to keep doing qigong, keep studying, and hopefully be able to buy more classes online, and get more certificates on that. I already have a few, and then yeah, just keep on keeping on, focusing on the family as well, and just taking it day by day. So again, we're still in the apartment. I was hoping that this year we would maybe be able to get into a house, but this year has shown us that I have decided that I do not want to rent a house at this point. I feel like the rent game is very precarious right now. I feel like buying is also very precarious. So we have decided just to stay put and hunker down and wait until we find what's right for us. I don't want to go out there and take my chances and be like, oh, but you know, I want a house so bad. You know, I just would rather be financially stable, or at least as much as I can be in this economy, you know, which, don't get me wrong, we still have a hard time. But I would rather not be spending like several hundred more dollars a month just to live in a house where they can raise my rent every 6 months to a year. They can raise it as much as they want. And where I am now, I've been for years. So I know the management, I know the people, I know my neighbors. Like, I feel comfortable, I feel safe. It's not the nicest place, but we have everything we need. We have a nice little corner downstairs unit, so we've got like yard space and everything. And it's just great. We have a playground, a pool, a basketball court. So I really can't complain. They also let us do our own gardening. So we even built like garden boxes and everything, and get to plant whatever we want and do whatever we want with it. So that's really nice, and I enjoy that. And so therefore, there's a lot of benefits that come with having an apartment. I don't fault people for not owning a home, because it's just the day and age that we're living in. I don't feel like it's realistic for a lot of people. Honestly, most people. It's just, for us, it's definitely not realistic. I do still want to continue to look into like the rent to own option, which I will continue to do. But right now, I don't feel ready to leave the apartment. I feel like I could still be there for a while, and I just am happy with that. Like, I'm very happy with where we are. It still feels like a very safe place to me. It's like my safe haven, and I just don't want to leave. So that's where we're at right now on that. And eventually, I'm sure we will have, you know, a house that we can rent to own, you know, or if we can ever save enough money, we can buy. But right now, that just doesn't seem realistic. We have very, very little in savings, so I'm just telling it like it is, because I know I'm not the only one. So anyways, so I don't know if we'll be in the apartment for this whole next year or not. I'm kind of thinking we will be. So we'll just kind of have to see, but we'll just see where it goes, you know. Other than that, that's really about it. Those are my goals for this next year. For this last year, again, just to recap, friendships being watered down, kind of just not where I wish they would be. My boyfriend and I, our best friend Jocelyn, lives up in Washington State, or technically Idaho, but we do go up there. We try to get up there every year, usually every summer, so that we can see her and then see Josh's family, because they live up there as well. And so we do enjoy that, and we do have them, but unfortunately they are way up in, you know, another state, like 5 states away or whatever. So that's kind of hard. We do miss them and wish we could be closer. But we have situations that keep us here. We cannot move up there for various reasons at this point in time. Maybe someday we will. Honestly, I'd be totally down for it. It's really nice up there in Idaho and Washington State. But anyways, yeah, so we do have our good friend up there, but unfortunately we just don't get to see her a lot. So yeah, and that friendship fortunately has not been watered down, which I'm so thankful for. So I'm just thankful for what we have. This has definitely been a year of me counting my blessings and just being really thankful for everything that we have, and everything, my family, my children. So I think the only goal that I'm not 100% satisfied with maybe is, like, I was hoping to wake up earlier this this last year. And I just never really got to it. I never got to a point where I got to wake up earlier. So for those of you that don't know, I have a lot of sleeping issues. I have really bad insomnia. I have really bad, I'm also super busy, so sometimes I intentionally don't get much sleep, because I have to stay awake to get stuff done. So, I just don't really sleep a whole lot. I've said this before, but, I was trying to get up earlier, but I just didn't get around to it. However, I did kind of get to a point where at this point in time, I'm doing what's called polyphasic sleeping, which is where I am sleeping for a few hours, at night, or shall I say in the morning, the early morning. I sleep for a few hours, and then I'll sleep for another 2 to 3 hours in the evening, in the late evening, and then I stay up a good part of the night getting stuff done. So a lot of people say that sounds really weird, but if you're like me and you're self-employed and you homeschool and you have a lot of flexibility in your life, you can just do what works for you. And so at this point in my life, this is what works for me, and so that's been really helpful because I'm able to do what I need to do and not have to worry so much about the schedule of everything. And so I also obviously get up early when I have to, if I have an appointment for something, or the kids have a dentist or a doctor's appointment or something like that. Obviously, I will get up if I have to. But as for getting up earlier, again, I just have ultimately switched over to polyphasic sleeping, which sleeping in shifts, it's just helping me to overall take care of the things I need to take care of. It's really hard to explain unless you've done it. You probably wouldn't quite comprehend it, but it's really working out really well right now. So I guess in a way I could say that I did somewhat meet the goal of the sleeping, but yeah. So as for this next year, I'm not so much really going to set a goal for getting up earlier or for anything like that, just because I feel like I'm just going to need to take everything as it comes and not worry so much about trying to, I guess, keep up with the Joneses, because I think a big part of me has always thought that, so-and-so wakes up this early and goes to bed at 9 o'clock, so they must be better than me, or they must be, more productive. But in reality, it actually wasn't the case at all. And, I've still been very productive and very happy with the way that I've been doing things. So, it just is what it is, and that's where I'm at right now. So, I'm happy overall with that. And I just take naps when I have to, even if it's a cat nap. I lay down for 20-30 minutes if I, really, really need an energy boost. But overall, I'm not too horribly worried about the sleeping, just because I've had this issue my whole life, especially since my early 20s, late teens, early 20s. I've struggled so much with sleeping, so I just try to focus on keeping my health in check to the best of my ability. I focus on boosting my immune system. I focus on exercising, nothing too vigorous typically. I do a lot of lower impact stuff, and then taking all my supplements, my vitamins, focusing on a good, healthy, solid diet and things like that. So that's really helped a lot. I do meditations, self-care, detox baths, all kinds of things like that you guys have seen on my channel. But yeah, so I think that's about all I have to say. We're at 23-24 minutes right now, so definitely about it. But yeah, so stay tuned for my next thyroid video, and then some more skincare type stuff too. But I will see you guys in the next video. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to email or comment. Please keep your comments polite. Please do not be rude. Any rude comments will be deleted without reply. So I had someone left some kind of rude comment, I think it was last week or the week before, and I just didn't even reply, and I just deleted it. So yeah, I don't entertain rude comments. So if you're looking for a fight, you definitely will not get it here. I don't have time for that. So I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.